Welcome to today's Daily Dose. We're going to look at Psalm 1. Psalm 1 is about blessed is the man. I have a question. Do you know what you want to be when you grow up? I heard a successful businessman, say one time, I'm 55 years old and I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. Well, I've decided that I want to be a Psalm 1 man. I want to be a man that God will bless. And this Psalm 1 tells us how. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands in the path of sinners, nor sits in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law he meditates day and night. He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bring forth its fruit in its season, whose leaf also shall not wither, and whatever he does shall prosper. Blessed is the man. The word blessed is in the plural form. Blessednesses. Literally he's saying, oh, the blessednesses of the man. This points to the multiplication of God's blessings to our lives. The word man is emphatic in the Hebrew, which means that man. That one person among 1,000 who lives for the fulfillment of God's purpose in his or her life. This is that one who truly has a heart for God. And the word, blessed is the man, express the joy and the gratitude that come as a result of living in fellowship with God. So this blessedness then is not earned. It's a result, it's a gift, it is God's grace. It's what God wants to give you. So here is that man, that one, that person who has a heart for God, who lives to fulfill God's purpose for his or her life, who lives in fellowship with God. It is that one who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly. He does not seek the companionship or the counsel of those who do not know God. Does that mean that you can't be friends or associate with them? No. For otherwise, how could we be a witness to them? So yes, associate with those who do not know the Lord, but don't run with them. He continues, nor stands in the path of sinners, nor sits in the seat of the scornful. Stands and sits. That indicates spending time with them. If you walk around long enough and stand around for long enough, you'll soon be looking for a place to sit down. The seat of the scornful. Now there's no surprise here. Living without God leads to a sense of purposelessness and frustration. There's a limit of this that most people can take. So soon they give up and become hard-boiled cynics, negative scoffers, scorners of God and of good and of hope and meaning. If you hang around people like this, they'll influence you for evil. So turn from evil and from evil people. How do you do that? He says in verse 2, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. But that indicates an alternative. There's another way. There's a place where happiness and blessing can be found. It is finding delight in the law of the Lord. This is where we find God's requirements for us, like an owner's manual, if you please. It's the guide for what to do, what not to do, and the direction from God to have meaning in life. And it is not legalistic, mechanical, or religious superstition. It is a relationship with God. And that's why he delights in it. And why? In his law, he meditates day and night. You keep the Lord before your mind throughout the day. Following the words of God is a joy. It's not a drag. It is a delight. So give yourself to God and follow his word. To do this, you have to be familiar with it. You have to know it. So how is that done? he meditates day and night. That is, spending time with God and His Word. Meditation is not setting apart some time for personal devotions in the morning or evening, but is to reflect on God and His Word through the course of the day. If you do that, you'll not only overcome evil, have victory, you will experience God's blessing on your life. What kind of blessings? Verse 3. He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that brings forth fruit in its season, whose leaf also shall not wither, and whatever he does shall prosper. This means this life will have stability, like a tree planted, firmly planted. The indication is transplanted, placed there on purpose by the rivers of water. Remember, Jesus gives us living water. His presence in our lives nourishes, refreshes us constantly. The life will have fruitfulness that brings forth fruit in its season. Jesus said, "Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. He who abides in me, and I in him, bears much fruit. For without me, you can do nothing." The life will have strength for living, whose leaf also shall not wither. There's a vital link between the root and the leaf. Dry roots soon result in dry rot in the leaves. Though people can't see the roots of the Christian character, the leaf is easily visible. It follows then that the hidden condition of the roots may be judged by the outward appearance of the leaf. If the outward life is fresh and green, then it's clear that the inward life is strong. Withered leaves are a sign of dry roots. The life will have success, and whatever he does shall prosper. This does not necessarily mean wealth and so forth, but good. Romans 8:28 says, "And we know that God causes all things to work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to His purpose." That's what it means. Good. May I say again, this blessedness is not a reward, but rather it is the natural result of a particular kind of life. Just as a tree with a constant water supply naturally flourishes, so too will the person who avoids evil and delights in the Lord and His Word. So that's what I want to be when I grow up. Don't you?